Picture this. You wake up in the morning, and the first thing you feel is that familiar, nagging stiffness in your knees or your back. Then you think back on your night, interrupted, once again, by 1, 2, maybe 3 trips to the bathroom. What if I told you that your morning joint pain and your broken sleep are not 2 separate problems of getting older? What if they are, in fact, 2 different symptoms of the exact same single hidden deficiency? This is one of the most common deficiencies among adults over 60, yet it's also one of the most overlooked. It doesn't arrive with a loud announcement. It just slowly, silently creeps up on you, stealing your comfort during the day and your restorative sleep at night. In this video, we're not going to give you a long, confusing list of supplements. We are going on an investigation together to uncover the single #1 vitamin deficiency that is the root cause of both chronic inflammation and those nightly bathroom visits. And I promise you, the answer will likely surprise you. It's probably not the one you're thinking of. Hello, I'm Dr. James Whitmore. Throughout my 30-year career, I've seen countless patients come to my office complaining about joint pain. And when I ask one simple question, how are you sleeping? The story is always the same: interrupted, restless, and frustrating. The connection is undeniable. And it's not just anecdotal. Data from the National Institutes of Health, NIH, confirms that this specific deficiency is incredibly prevalent, affecting more than half of all seniors, yet it's rarely connected to these 2 common problems. Before we continue our investigation, I want to ask you, which of these 2 problems affects your quality of life more? Just comment with one word below: pain or sleep. There's no right answer. I'd just love to know. By the end of this video, you won't just know the name of this mystery vitamin. You'll understand exactly why it's so critical and the simple steps you can take to restore your levels and reclaim your comfort. If you're ready to find the answer, please do me a small favor and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on vital health information like this. Now, let our investigation begin with the first clue: that nagging pain in your joints. We often accept aches and stiffness as a simple fact of aging, like getting grey hair. We call it wear and tear or arthritis. But what if, for many of us, it's actually a sign of a body that has lost its ability to control inflammation? Scientifically, when your body is deficient in this specific mystery vitamin, your immune system can go into overdrive. It starts producing too many inflammatory messengers called cytokines. In fact, a major review of studies published in the Journal of Inflammation Research found a direct link between low levels of this vitamin and elevated C-reactive protein, or CRP, which is the key marker doctors look for to measure inflammation in your body. Essentially, your body's own defense system starts attacking your healthy joints, causing that familiar pain, swelling, and stiffness. This brings me to my patient, Arthur, a 75-year-old grandfather. He came to me with persistent pain in his knees. He had accepted it as just a part of getting old. He'd stopped taking his daily walks and, most painfully for him, he could no longer get down on the floor to play with his young grandchildren. He had tried creams and painkillers, but nothing provided lasting relief because we weren't addressing the root cause. This is so important because chronic, low-grade inflammation isn't just about joint pain. It's a contributing factor to almost every major age-related disease, from heart disease to cognitive decline. Controlling it isn't just about feeling better today. It's about protecting your health for the decades to come. The solution, therefore, isn't just to mask the pain. It's to give your body the essential tool it needs to regulate its own inflammatory response. It's about restoring a fundamental balance that has been lost. But as we talked more, I realized Arthur's joint pain was only half of his story. The other, equally frustrating half was happening every single night, in the dark, in silence. That brings us to the second crucial clue in our investigation, the reason you wake up. So let's examine our second clue, why you can no longer sleep through the night. For many of us, waking up to use the bathroom feels like a simple plumbing issue, a problem with the bladder. But what if it's not a problem with your plumbing at all? What if it's actually a problem with your muscles and your nerves? This mystery vitamin is absolutely critical for muscle strength throughout your entire body. And as a study in the International Urogynecology Journal found, a deficiency is directly linked to weaker pelvic floor muscles. These are the very muscles that support your bladder. When they weaken, your bladder can't hold as much urine as it used to, and even a small amount can trigger that strong, urgent signal to go. But it goes deeper. Researchers have also discovered that the receptors for this vitamin are found in the very parts of our brain that regulate our sleep-wake cycles. Low levels can prevent you from entering and staying in the deep, restful stages of sleep. It leaves your brain in a light sleep mode, making you much more easily awakened by any signal from your body, including a trip to the bathroom. This perfectly explained what was happening to my patient, Arthur. His joint pain was a sign of inflammation, and the muscle weakness from this same deficiency was affecting his bladder control. He wasn't just in pain. He was caught in a relentless cycle of exhaustion. He told me he felt like he was 100 years old, trapped in a body that wouldn't let him rest. This nightly disruption does more than just make you tired. It elevates stress hormones and raises your blood pressure overnight. Over many years, this can significantly impact your health. Solving this isn't just about sleep, it's about protecting your entire well-being. The solution, then, is twofold. We need to restore the body's ability to fight inflammation, and we need to give our muscles, including the ones we can't see, like the bladder, the fundamental tool they need to stay strong. So we have a single culprit behind weak muscles, aching joints, and broken sleep. It's a vitamin that acts like a hormone, and it's one that over half of all seniors are deficient in, yet they almost never connect it to these symptoms. The time for investigation is over. Now, it's time for the answer. The number one vitamin deficiency causing this cascade of problems is vitamin D. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Vitamin D? I thought that was just for bones. That is one of the biggest and most outdated misconceptions in medicine. In reality, vitamin D functions as a powerful steroid hormone in your body. It is essential for regulating your immune system to control inflammation, and it directly maintains the health and strength of your muscle fibers. The reason this becomes a critical problem after the age of 60 is simple. Our ability to produce it plummets. Our skin becomes thinner and less efficient at making vitamin D from sunlight. We tend to spend more time indoors. And our kidneys, which are responsible for converting vitamin D into its active, usable form, also become less effective with age. Your body is caught in a perfect storm of not getting enough and not being able to fully use what it gets. But here is the most important piece of information I can share with you today. This is entirely correctable. Now that we have identified the culprit, let's move on to the most crucial part. The action plan to restore your vitamin D levels and reclaim your health. So, how do we fight back against this deficiency? The action plan is simpler than you might think, and it has two main parts. First, through diet and sunlight. The best food sources of vitamin D are fatty fish like salmon and mackerel, egg yolks, and fortified milk or orange juice. However, I must be honest with you, it is very difficult for most seniors to get enough vitamin D from food alone. Safe, sensible sun exposure, about 15 to 20 minutes on your arms and legs in the morning sun without sunscreen, is the most natural way for your body to produce its own vitamin D. But the most reliable and effective way for many of us is the second part of the plan: proper supplementation. When you look for a supplement, you must choose vitamin D3, which is the form your body produces from sunlight, and is more effective than the plant-based form, D2. For most adults over 60, a daily dose between 800 and 2,000 international units, IU, is a safe and effective range. However, the best approach is to ask your doctor for a simple blood test to know your exact levels and get a personalized recommendation. For my patient Arthur, the blood test confirmed he was severely deficient. We started him on a doctor-supervised dose of 2,000 IU of vitamin D3 daily. But here's a secret that even many doctors overlook. You can take all the vitamin D you want, but it may not work effectively if it's missing its essential partners. That brings us to our final expert tip, the key to unlocking vitamin D's full power. Think of vitamin D as a powerful key. But every key needs a hand to turn it, and a map to know which door to open. That's where its two best partners come in. The first partner is vitamin K2. Here's what it does. Vitamin D is brilliant at helping you absorb calcium from your food into your bloodstream. But once the calcium is in the blood, it needs a director. Vitamin K2 is that director. It tells the calcium exactly where to go, into your bones and teeth, and more importantly, where not to go, like your arteries and soft tissues, where it can cause hardening and plaque. Taking D3 without enough K2 is like inviting guests to your house but not telling them which room to go to. The second partner is our old friend, magnesium. Your body cannot convert vitamin D from its storage form into its active hormone form without sufficient magnesium. It's the spark that turns the key in the ignition. If you are deficient in magnesium, the vitamin D you're taking remains mostly inactive. The solution is to think of these three as a team. When looking for a supplement, a high-quality formula will often combine vitamin D3 with K2, and you should ensure your diet is rich in magnesium from leafy greens, nuts, and seeds to make sure your vitamin D can actually get to work. By combining these three nutrients, you are creating a powerful synergy for your health. Now that you have the knowledge, let's talk about how to turn that knowledge into lasting results. So we have learned that a single common vitamin D deficiency can be the root cause of both chronic inflammation and those disruptive nights. And most importantly, we learned that this is not a life sentence. It is a problem with a clear solution. Now, a common question I get is, Dr. James, how do I actually know my vitamin D level? It's a great question, and the answer is a simple blood test called a 25-hydroxy-vitamin D test. You can ask your doctor for it during your next checkup. It's the best way to know your starting point. We've talked a lot about vitamin D and its partners tonight. But what other vitamin or mineral are you curious about? Is it vitamin C, zinc, or something else? Let me know in the comments below. Your suggestion might become the topic of our next video. If you're watching this and feeling exhausted from years of joint pain and broken sleep, I want you to hear me clearly. You do not have to just accept this as a part of getting older. Your body has an incredible capacity to heal. You have the power to take back control of your health, and it can start with one small, simple step you take today. So here is my challenge for you this week. Just do one of these three things. Get 15 minutes of morning sunlight, add one vitamin D-rich food like salmon to your weekly meals, or simply talk to your doctor about getting your levels tested. Just one step. Then, I want you to come back to this video and share in the comments which step you chose. If this video has given you clarity and a sense of hope, please help our community by typing HOPE in the comments below. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel so we can continue this journey to better health together. Remember, every day is a new opportunity to honor your body and invest in your future. Thank you for spending your time with me. Be well.